Well, good morning. Bruchim habayim, bruchot habaot b'London. I'm Simon Walters, the British ambassador to Israel, and I'm delighted to be able to be here in London with you at this conference. Tel Aviv is my home now, and it will be for the next few years. And I don't come back to the UK that often, and particularly during the last year, it has been important not just professionally, but personally, to be in Israel as the country has gone through perhaps one of its most difficult years since independence. I'm flying back there tonight. But I wanted to take the chance to be at this event to support efforts to reinvigorate business links between the UK and Israel. And let me apologize now that I'm going to have to leave immediately after this speech to go to a meeting at the Ministry of Defense. So when I took up this posting in the summer of 2023, I said to the embassy team and to Israelis that I met in those first weeks that my priorities were trade, technology, research, and innovation. The last 14 months have, of course, forced different priorities on everyone in Israel, and at British Embassy Tel Aviv, we are no exception to that. But I remain committed that I and the embassy team will do all that we can to continue to promote collaboration between the UK and Israel in the fields of business, academia, and science. And there are two reasons for this. Firstly, these relationships are valuable in their own right. The UK and Israel are highly complementary service economies with strengths in a number of strategic sectors. We both have strong records in science and technology. Indeed, we are natural partners. Our nations sit together at the top of global rankings for innovation, AI, energy innovation, and startup ecosystems. Both sit on the geographical edge of Europe and outside the European Union, but enjoy close relationships with European Union partners. And these business and research relationships between our two countries are delivering real results, some of which I'll talk about in a moment. But there is a second reason why I see it as a core mission of the British Embassy to promote UK-Israel business links. And that is because in international relations, the connections between people, businesses, and organizations can be just as important as the relationships between governments. These connections provide strength and resilience to the relationship between countries, and if one aspect of the relationship becomes difficult, the fact that the relationship functions on multiple levels allows connectivity to continue, enabling understanding and support to flow in both directions. In the situation in which we find ourselves today, that is more true than ever. I don't want to dodge or minimize the challenging aspects of the relationship between Israel and the rest of the world. There has been much support for Israel as it fights against multiple threats from organizations and from regimes which seek not just to terrorize Israel, but to destroy the state itself. With justification, Israel sees this as an existential struggle. And we in the British government have consistently supported Israel's right to self-defense in both word and in deed. But alongside that support has been a great deal of concern about extremist elements in Israel who are promoting a vision of the future which we cannot accept. Further, in many parts of the world, there has been a worrying and alarming surge in anti-Semitism. These are real challenges which we cannot minimize. But in all cases, the wise response to these difficulties is to talk more, to strengthen the relationships which enable us to build mutual understanding. And in contrast, if we were to draw back, our ability both to understand and empathize would decline. A worrying feature of the last year has been some signs that people in the West don't understand Israel, and vice versa. And that's a trend, if not reversed, will be bad for everyone. So these are two reasons why I want our trade relationships to flourish. And so let's say a few words about what we are doing to enable that, and point to some encouraging signs of what we are achieving. The UK-Israel trade relationship is in robust health, with annual trade in goods and services standing at about £6 billion in the 4 quarters to the end of the second quarter of this year. It's a balanced relationship, with trade in each direction accounting for roughly half the total. Both the previous British government and the new government, which entered office in July, have been keen to build on that through work to secure a new free trade agreement, and that will cover services in addition to our existing trade deal in goods. And this is one of a small number of priority negotiations the UK government is currently pursuing. And the target is ambitious. We are aiming to agree a wide-ranging, modern and bespoke agreement that supports the full range of service sectors, innovation and the digital economy. And this would be a deal of a sort that Israel has never done before and would entail substantial opening up of multiple sectors of the economy, including, among others, government procurement, financial services, consultancy and other professional services. In the other direction, success in securing this deal would allow us to build on the existing record of Israeli technology companies which have established operations and grown within the UK market. Many Israeli companies have chosen the UK as their preferred destination in Europe to set up a business presence. In the past 5 years alone, the Department of Business and Trade team in the embassy has supported more than 300 Israeli companies to set up or expand their operations in the UK, creating approximately 4,000 new jobs and over £906 million worth of investment. These figures are a testament to the technological prowess of Israel's startup sector as much as they are to the attractiveness of the UK. There's also a strong story to tell in terms of FDI. Israeli investors continue to find a favourable and leading investment environment in the UK, taking part in large capital investment projects in energy, regeneration, infrastructure and real estate sectors. Our DBT team supported nearly £1.5 billion worth of investment in the last 5 years. Meanwhile, our exports team is focused on efforts to capitalise on the significant opportunities for UK businesses to deliver rail projects, given UK rail specialisms and the need for additional capacity within the Israel market. There will continue to be significant opportunities for British firms as part of Israel's infrastructure for growth plan, with the most significant project being the Tel Aviv Metro, valued at over $50 billion. For Israeli startups, the UK presents a particularly attractive set of opportunities. The UK is open for business and innovation, offering startups unparalleled access to scale and grow in one of the world's largest and most dynamic economies. Initiatives like the Global Entrepreneur Programme provide mentorship and resources tailored for Israeli startups expanding to the UK, while the UK's strategic location gives access both to European and global markets, ensuring long-term scalability and global competitiveness. Various surveys confirm that the UK is seen as the leading economy in Europe in terms of the size and dynamism of the startup sector, and in terms of global connectivity. We seek to capitalise on these opportunities through the Tech Hub at the British Embassy. The hub, now in its second decade, was the first of its kind in Israel, a team dedicated to bringing together Israeli startups with British clients. This gives the UK access to groundbreaking technologies that address complex challenges in sectors such as healthcare, financial services, and climate adaptation early in their development. And our recent successes include bringing Israeli tech investors together with UK partners to improve clinical diagnostic accuracy, to improve mental health patient outcomes, and to manage waste in our supermarkets, saving millions in fraud losses each year. Collaborating with Israel also aligns with the UK's broader goals of fostering a peaceful and democratic Middle East. Initiatives such as the Women Leading Innovation Network and efforts to support the Arab tech ecosystem are integral to this mission. Despite making up 21% of Israel's population, Arabs represent only 2% of its tech workforce, highlighting the need for greater inclusivity. And by supporting underrepresented groups in Israeli tech, the UK not only drives innovation, but promotes social cohesion and inclusivity. These efforts help to build bridges between communities. Further upstream, our science and innovation team has continued to expand our support for joint British-Israeli research programs. We have a number of programs to support research projects and researcher mobility. I'll mention just two. Working with the British Council and the Pears Foundation, we have recently launched another phase of the highly regarded BIRACS program to support joint projects in a variety of high-priority medical conditions under the broad category of healthy aging. And earlier this year, we launched a new government fund, a joint initiative of the ISPF here in the UK with the Israeli Ministry of Science and Technology. This program will fund collaborative research projects on quantum technologies, AI in drug discovery, and in food tech, with a total funding of £1.8 million. So the picture is a very positive one, and I see great potential for more. I thank the organisers for this initiative, and I wish them every success in bringing together the best in our two countries. It would be wrong to close without mention of a subject which is on the mind of every Israeli, the fate of the hostages held in Gaza for over 14 months. A number of those hostages have close connections to the UK, and they include Emily Damari, a British citizen. Another round of negotiations has started, and there is some optimism building as to where this will lead. I earnestly hope that this time will be different. The situation is intolerable, and I repeat here what I have said on numerous occasions. We will not forget the hostages. We call on Hamas to release them immediately and unconditionally, and I promise that we will continue to do everything we can to bring them home. Thank you.